Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun and today I am here to give you my anime of the week, Demon Slayer. Now Demon Slayer is an anime that came out a couple years ago, but I have not gotten the chance to see it. I finally saw it. I seen it on Netflix for a little bit and Hulu, but I had kept going by it. I kept going by it because if you guys been following me long enough, you know how particular I am about anime. Now, it recently kind of discovered something about myself that I'm sort of lightened up a bit. At least I've lightened up more than Seth has. Seth still, I still agree with Seth. I mean, I'm no, hell, I'm half the reason he thinks the way he thinks about anime. But I have had kind of come to this conclusion that I'm like, you know what? There are certain aspects of anime I'm willing to just kind of roll with now. And I discovered once I was able to roll with that, I was able to enjoy more anime. And it's just certain things. As long, like I told Seth, as long as the anime is true to its rules and it doesn't break it, it doesn't do anything that's so stupid that it doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't do corny shit. It's not loud. It's not always completely loud and obnoxious. It's not cheap. It doesn't cheat me or the audience. It doesn't lie to me or the audience. It doesn't take the easy way out. It doesn't do logical things. I've kind of come to the conclusion, as long as I feel satisfied, as long as I don't feel like I got cheated or they're just taking the easy way out, like I just said, I feel like I can roll with it. There's still things that I don't like, or that I won't like. I don't like Fairy Tail, and anime like that are in those veins. But admittedly, when I looked at Demon Slayer, I thought that it was going to be like that, but I got bored and watched it, and I enjoyed the crap out of it. I really did. I thoroughly enjoyed Demon Slayer. I was watching it and I was like, you know what? This is a really good anime. Demon Slayer kind of hits something that I've never really seen, that it hits a sweet spot. I've always considered the Pirates of the Caribbean, the violence level in Pirates of the Caribbean, the sweet spot for action movies. In terms of the level of violence, I think anything above the Pirates of the Caribbean violence is a choice. You know what I mean? But I think the sweet spot is about that violence. There was this, what's the movie? Three Musketeer movie that came out a long time ago, with Logan Lerman in it, and I thought that violence was the sweet spot. This show reaches the sweet spot of violence, which I mean is some animes get to go too far with it to the point where it's kind of gross, and you're just like, I don't even want to I don't even want to watch this. That was just awful. And some anime dial it way back to the point where you're like, dude, that guy's head would have exploded. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, okay, sure, whatever. But this one, it's great. But Demon Slayer strikes the right balance between, they let you know that when something bad just happened, when someone gets really, fucked up, you see it. You see the gut. You see the blood. You hear the noises. You hear the crunching. Sometimes you see a body part. They let you know. But they don't overexpose it. They don't really put it in your face. You just know that this shit's going down. So I really love that about the show. I think it struck the right balance, and this show takes place in a more realistic Japan. I can't remember off the top of my head if it's in Japan, but it definitely takes place in a more realistic Japan. It's not like some weird fantasy version of Japan. It's like, oh, this takes place in a realistic Japan. Not like Japan today. Say Japan 1870 something Japan, something like that. It takes place but it takes place in a realistic interpretation of Japan. Even the way that some of the characters fight, it might be over the top, and they might add in little effects here and there. But the insinuation is that, because the main character, damn it, how am I already forgetting his name? Sorry people, I'm terrible with anime characters' names. That's the one blind spot I have, and I just want to make sure I get this character's name right, because I really dug him, and I really think he's a good character. Tetsu, yeah, Tetsu, or is it Tanjiro? I'm gonna just say Tetsu. Tanjiro? I'm terrible with names. But the main character, I'm just calling him Tan for short. Main character Tan, like he learns this one style in the course of the show that's kind of like has a lot to do with water, and it's like, kind of like the way his master taught him it was a lot like water and flowing water and being able to adjust, and you know, a lot of the base moves are based around water. And when he's using those moves, you kind of see him moving around, and you see like water like pop up at it wherever he's stepping, and like when he's driving. But the insinuation is there's not actually water just showing up every time he takes a step when he makes his moves. It's like in his mind, you know, we see it that way, but in actuality, it's just, you know, him making very quick, you know, and decisive movements to get to kill the demons. And like even him as a main character, he's more in the Tan's more in the vein of Deku from I'd say he's more in that Deku vein from My Hero Academia. He's really like that because he's not this over the top boisterous main protagonist. He's pretty calm, collected. You know, he's a good kid. He has a family. First of all, he's one of the only main protagonists in an anime that I remember who has a big family. Granted, you knew they were gonna die, but I had never seen an anime protagonist with that big of a family. I mean, he had like 2 brothers and like 3 sisters. And I think he had like 3 brothers. Like, it was something crazy. I know he had like 5 siblings. And I was like, I ain't never seen that before. But yeah, like, he's probably one of the main protagonists to have that big of a family. And he's a good kid. I mean, he goes down to the village and sell coal to people, you know. He's got a good nose on him, which they kind of play that up. Like, he can really smell like shit from miles away. He can smell blood. Sometimes he can even pick up on people's feelings and shit. Like he can just smell stuff. And it's really comes in handy for him in the show. But he's a good kid, and they kind of go, like I said, he's a good kid thrusted into an impossible situation. First of all, not only is his family murdered by a demon, but his sister is also turned into a demon. So now his journey is to really cure his sister, because his sister somehow kind of comes down from that demon high, and he's on a journey to save her. He's on a journey to find a cure to save her. And to do that, he must join this organization called the Demon Slayers, who, as their name sounds, they go around and slay demons. But the thing about it is, minor little thing, they're not recognized by the government, so they don't have any government backing, which is why they don't have enough people to actually fight demons, because basically the government just kind of went, we don't want to acknowledge it anymore, which is kind of stupid, but you know, it is what it is. But the cool thing about this show too is it worked in this gray area, because demons in this world are less like they're like vampires. Not only could sunlight kill them, I mean evaporate them almost instantly, like just straight up gone, but the same way that in a lot of vampire lore, when a person is turned to a vampire, they're just like they are themselves. They are them. They're just like this evil version of them. And like the regular them is in there, but it's just consumed by all what, you know, by being what they've become, the hunger, the rage, all these emotions. Because for the most part, when a demon dies in this show, the human who he once was kind of shows up, kind of like peers through, and it's kind of sad a lot of times. And for the most part, Tan, main character, I'm just calling him Tan for short. I know it's something else, but I can't fucking say it. For a lot of times, there's moments where he kills an awful, despicable demon that you hate because you've seen him do all these horrible things. But then when you see the demon, like when it's dying, it kind of has these like moments of flashback into who they were before, and you realize that basically every one of these demons, for the most part, are innocent people who did not want to be doing what they're doing. Not only are they innocent people, but they're innocent people who are like traumatized by the things they did as a demon. And like honestly, the only way they can get peace is death. So like they had this extra layer of gray to it where every time he fights a demon, for the most part, you feel pretty sympathetic for him because you're like, it's not like they asked to be what they became. They became it because the head demon, who is basically Dracula. That's what I'm saying. They say demons, but these are basically fucking vampires. Because the head demon is Dracula. Because in most vampire lore, and every vampire lore I've seen, most vampire lores I've seen, Dracula can kind of make himself appear like a normal person. Like other vampires, you know, like they can't do that. Other vampires, but Dracula could completely masquerade amongst the people like a normal human being. I mean, he's like the main demon of this show straight up has a goddamn family. Which I'm like, huh? Like, it can't be his kid, because he don't like he got any demon in him. But yeah, like I said, he's masquerading like a normal human being. Like, and it seems like like I said, they really play him up like a Dracula. They really do. But I really enjoy this show. It has some really good side characters. Some of the side characters are a little over the top. So, 2 in particular, but I really enjoy it. The main character works for his skills. Like, it's not given to him easy. He doesn't wake up and have it. He works his ass off to get his skills, and you root for him. And when he finally, you know, it took him so long to do certain things, when he finally accomplishes it, you're like, I like this guy. I hope nothing for the best for this guy. He's got balls. He's got instincts. He's a kind-hearted man. He's a gentleman, and on top of that, he's a leader. And you know, you see just qualities in the main protagonist, and I really enjoyed him, and I really enjoyed his trio that he ends up, you know, figuring out. But like I said, this show is really good. Like, I would give, if I had to give Demon Slayer a grade, I'd give it an 8.5. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if there's a second season coming. I hope there is, because the season kind of ended on a shitty note. Not a shitty note, but on like, well, what the hell, man? I want to see what happens next. It's kind of how I felt when it ended. Like, well, you can't leave me like that. You can't leave me right there. Like, literally, they're on a mission, and it ends. But anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. And have you seen Demon Slayers? I think it's a really good anime that you guys should check out. Thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one.